Hallelujah. The Lord is blessing me right now.
Right
Glory to
now.
God. That song make you want to shout.
Yes.
Hallelujah. The
So
Lord is
when the
blessing
choir,
me
The Lord is blessing me
right now.
The Lord
And
is
you know, I'm a
blessing me
choir
right
girl.
now.
Yes. Yes. You know, Joy Missionary Baptist Church, they choir can sing that song real good.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but we back, everybody.
We are back.
We've been waiting on hot topics ever since it was hot.
Exactly. You know, when it first went down, I was like, oh, hot
Yeah.
topic for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? If I didn't already have on my pajamas, I might have would have went live on my Facebook. And you know, they changed the settings because a lot of times I would go live and do it as an audio. But they don't have that they don't have that option anymore. I'm not sure why they stopped, but unless I just be in my pajamas, but I try not to do that. Okay, but lady, I'm lost for words. You could go first.
Listen, so I can't imagine anybody not knowing.
You had to be on the rock.
Yes,
you had to be on the rock because that was literally on everywhere.
Yes,
from major news to minor news to social media news. It was everywhere. Everywhere.
So yeah, Will Smith and this Chris Rock.
Yes,
Will Smith. For those who may not know, at the Oscars,
yes,
Chris Rock was one of the presenters,
the host.
He was hosting, and he made a joke in reference to Jada Smith.
Yes,
and Will Smith got up, went on stage,
yes,
and slapped Chris Rock,
right,
and turned around and walked back to his seat and then yelled out some unkind words.
Yes, he did.
And so that is just what's hot.
And everybody's talking about it.
There has been a mix of opinions.
I noticed that.
Mix of views.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I should say there's a right or wrong here. It's just a difference of opinion.
Perhaps.
And everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
You want me to give my thoughts?
Go ahead, lady.
I personally think Will Smith was out of line.
Yeah, I think so too.
Out of line.
Yes.
Out of line. One, at that age, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Right.
I mean, come on.
That was a bit much.
That was a bit much.
Yes.
And in my opinion, I saw it firsthand watching.
Oh, you was watching it live?
I was watching it live.
Okay.
And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it was a joke. It was not a bad joke, in my opinion.
I didn't take it as an insult either.
I did not take it.
Because G.I. Jane was a bad woman.
I did not, exactly. Yeah. I did not take it as an insult.
And Demi Moore is a pretty lady. Exactly. She's a very pretty lady.
And from what I can see and witness, Will Smith actually chuckled a little.
Yeah, he looked like he thought it might have was funny.
Yes, and it wasn't until he looked over at Jada
and she didn't think it was funny.
She was not having it.
Mm-hmm.
And Will reacted.
Right.
Now, kudos to Chris for keeping his composure.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that every man, especially black men, would have stayed as calm.
Right.
I just don't believe it.
I don't know if Chris was just in shock.
Well, of course. What? Listen, think about it. You're at the Oscars.
Right.
This is like a bit to do.
Yes, it is.
You know, one, it's Will Smith. We hold him at a higher accountability because, I mean, hey, he's in every household. He's a household name. Yeah,
and he's rarely caught up in things like that.
Exactly.
You know, he has been caught up in things, but not a violent stuff over the top, not like this. Exactly. That's not his reputation.
And I just think there's an expectation that you would know how to compose yourself at events such as this.
Yes.
Maybe you were offended. Maybe it did bother you. A lot of people were saying he was defending his wife.
Right.
My take on it is there was no immediate threat to your wife. You know what
I'm like something coming at her or towards her, right?
Yeah. It could have been handled different.
Yes.
You know, in hindsight, I think Will probably realizes that now. Something as simple as doing commercial break. Hey, Chris, man, let me talk to you for a minute.
Or behind the scenes, because they're going to see each other behind the scenes.
By what you said. But I did not see what he said being offensive.
Right.
Christina?
Yeah, so there's a part of me that still think it was staged.
I don't see.
When you look at the pictures, because when something happens so quickly, I mean, we see magicians. Stuff can really kind of get past you. But when you look at the pictures, like frame by frame, it kind of looks staged to me.
See, I didn't.
I don't know if that was really real. It felt staged to me.
I don't think it was staged. And the reason I don't think it was staged, and this is just my thoughts, I don't think the Oscars would chance such volatile action so openly.
Well, maybe not the Oscars, but they have a director.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Will Packer would just go for something like that, but you have to think about it, lady. Shows like that are very structured.
Correct.
Very, very structured.
Correct.
It's not a lot of winging it, and there's not a lot of freestyling. It's very, very structured. So much so that these jokes
are already,
they go through the board. They go through whoever's a part of this programming, right? Not only that, people like Chris Rock, I'm sure he does write some of his own jokes, but he doesn't write all his own jokes now.
Right.
Once they get to a certain point, they have teams that help them formulate their monologues.
Exactly.
So I don't think Chris was like, okay, I'm doing this joke, and it didn't go by nobody. Nobody.
Is that why you're saying it's staged?
No, not just that, but first of all, these jokes got to go through more than one person.
I'm sure.
Okay, there's no winging it at the Oscars.
Well,
and then the second thing is just the way it looks. Even Chris, when he leans back, it's almost like he has a smirk on his face. You don't have a smirk on your face when somebody slapped you, lady.
I think the thing about it is he didn't expect it.
I know, but it still looked a little.
We are. I just,
and then think about this. If Will was that upset, you just gonna slap him and go sit down?
Versus continuing to punch him?
No, versus leaving. If I'm upset, you done made me that mad. I'm leaving. I'm going. Whether I go into the back and try to get some situations handled, or I'm leaving. You're not gonna offend me, and I just stay there. And this is live, but it still has a delay. Even us, when we're on the radio, there's a delay.
Absolutely.
Right? So live has a delay. So you mean to tell me that 10, 15 second delay, they couldn't edit? They couldn't and they didn't go to commercial? Like normally when things happen on live that's totally out of the box, they're quick to go to commercial. They weren't quick to go to commercial. You actually hear Will yelling out. And then he yelled out a second time. So now one of these times we go to quick commercial or put something else in. They did end up muting his mic, right? It's a whole lot of stuff about that just don't sit well, lady.
Chris.
Not when you have a program such as that.
Chris, I mean, a lot of people have said that they felt like it may have been staged. I do not think it was staged. I don't. Because even after he was hit, he kind of looked over like, what do I do now? Like, to me, he was looking over to like production, like, wait a minute, what do I do?
Well, he kept talking, no, Chris knows how to keep the show going.
Right,
I mean, he's hosted many things. I mean, he's a professional. I mean, even us, we know how to keep going. Nobody never know what's going on, right?
Right.
But it's just something about that. It just don't set well, And like I said, this is a major production. When live stuff happens, in that 10, 15 second delay, the production team will do things to either cut it out, delete, they'll be like, go to commercial. And it was
so fast.
Right, but that's their job.
So unexpected.
That's their job. They're sitting watching this. They got people in their ear, like, go to this camera, go to that camera. Like, why was the camera even on him? The camera stayed on him.
On who?
On Will.
Well, because he was making reference to Jada.
No. Now I'm talking about after.
Oh, after.
Even after you see him hit him, you still keep the camera directly on him. You can see Lupita in the background looking like, what's going on? So that's what I'm saying, lady. A lot of that, when you know production, a lot of that just don't seem right. It don't seem right. Because, like I said, you have people telling you, go to camera 2, go to camera 1. They tell you. So even after he hit him and you were shocked that he did that, you put the camera directly on him and you let it stay on him and enough that you were able to see him yell out profanities twice.
Okay, so let's run with that. Let's just say it was staged, just for the sake of going with that theory. If it was staged, why would there need to be an internal investigation? Because they are investigating.
Yeah, they decided to not necessarily investigate him, but they're investigating what they should do.
Exactly.
How they should handle him.
Investigation. And it's even been speculated that he should be stripped of his
his trophy, right.
Right. And so if it was staged, I don't think they would go to that extent to do a whole investigation.
Well, you still have to look good in the public eye, and you saying it as if everybody knew about it. If there's a plan, everybody's not gonna know the plan because the plan could get out.
Right, absolutely. I just no, I don't know. I don't think either Chris nor Will especially Will. To me, he has a lot to lose. He has a lot to lose by
possibly, but not a whole lot.
Something like that.
Possibly, but not a whole lot. How can you really hurt him?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
About it is that's what
he got his own production company.
Right,
so even if you say, "Well, I ain't producing not another movie with you,"
remember that moment. Anytime you say Will Smith, I think you will automatically associate it with him doing this at the Oscars.
But it's worth the risk.
Oh, I don't think
it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk.
Oh, I don't know.
His name is still everywhere. But like you just said, it's half and half though. It's half and half. So did it really tarnish his name? Yeah, some people not gonna look at him in the best light, but did it really tarnish him? Because now all of a sudden people say, "Oh, he defend his wife. Look at him. That's cool."
Yeah.
It's worth the risk. They do that.
It's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of opinion. But I just don't think even the Oscars would jeopardize their standing as being the Oscars.
Girl.
To promote violence.
I don't think they would promote violence, but
that was promoting violence.
But think about this, lady.
Okay, I'm listening.
What if Will Smith had hit a white horse? Would it have been the same outcome?
Would it?
Because honestly, had he hit somebody else, I do believe that he would have been escorted off. How was he able to just go sit down like ain't nothing happened? So no security comes. You're not escorted off. You're sitting in the front row. All these flags need to come up, lady. And then moments later, you win. You shouldn't have even been able to come on that stage.
Well, and that was my thought. Do I think he should be stripped from his award winning? No. I don't believe that.
No.
Because he earned that award.
Yeah, he did.
He earned that award. Now, do I think he should have been allowed to get on stage, make the whole speech and everything? No. No, I don't. We have one of our viewers who chimed in. And she writes, he thought he was protected by national television. And I don't know if she's making reference to Will thinking he was protected.
Maybe so, probably Will. Because even Steve Harvey said that was a Hollywood move. Steve Harvey was like, in a regular setting, he would not have done that. Neither do he think Chris would have not responded. Because he was like, Chris from New Jersey. Do you think Chris just going to let somebody just hit him like that? He said that was a straight Hollywood move. That's why I'm not saying 100% it was staged, but I'm leaning toward that was staged because the way things are handled in media, and even LAPD put out a statement. Oh, we're aware of this, and Chris is choosing not to press charges, and that's a wrap. Lady, trust me, any other situation, somebody walk up and hit somebody, they calling the cops. They calling security. They were like, oh, security, come and get this person. he would have never been able to just go sit back at his seat like ain't nothing happened and then go back out on stage to accept his award. They would have had somebody else accept it on his behalf. Like it just wouldn't happen like that.
I just think it was too much of a risk for it to be staged. A lot of people had a lot to lose in that.
But what though? What? I went on Chris Rock's social media, all his social media, right? All his postings about his upcoming tour. He's going to be.
You think it was more of a promotion?
It's a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes that people do for PR because they know what they're doing. The Oscars was watched all over the world. I don't know if people really know that, but like you said, the Oscars is a really big deal. People in Australia was watching, like literally all over the world, right? But Chris Rock finna go to Australia. He's going on a world tour. You know, the dates are lined up on all his social media, his Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook. You can go there, the flyers with the dates, and then he also has a tour with Kevin Hart. Like, come on, now. None of it says anything about what happened. None of it. It's nothing but the flyers upcoming tours.
He hasn't even made a statement.
He ended up making a statement.
Chris Rock?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
he did. He apologized. He said he did. I didn't send it to you, but he did, and he apologizes to his friends and because Will and Jada is considered his friends. That. Yeah, he did.
I didn't see
he said he did do an apology, and he said that hopefully you can learn from it. He said his intentions was not to hurt her. I mean, I'm live on my phone, so I can't pull it up. But he did issue an apology.
The latest news that I received or that I was following said he hadn't made any comments.
He did.
So, but I know Will, the day after.
Even that, he didn't apologize. He apologized to everybody else but Chris. But he apologizes the day after because PR has told you to do this, but girl,
listen,
they ain't fooling nobody.
I don't know. We here on the Christina Lockett show, we agree to disagree, and Chris seems to think that it was staged. I don't think it was staged, but I want to hear what you have to say. I want y'all to call in 346-355-0100. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yes,
and
indeed.
for those that are tuning in on our social media pages, chime in. I have one viewer who wrote, Chris Rock didn't think he would be hit. And also someone wrote, in the future, they will alter the jokes. See, I don't think anything was wrong with the joke. That's
a lot of people felt it was distasteful because of her having alopecia. Right. But he was like, hey, Jada, you're looking beautiful, something like that. He was like, he complimented her, and he was like, see you in the next G.I. Jane 2.
Exactly, but I don't think, again, making reference to G.I. Jane 2 was a insult.
But and they're friends, so he knows that Jada actually.
I don't think.
No, he knows that Jada was auditioned for a G.I. Jane too.
Oh, okay.
He knows about that because they're friends.
That she has that condition, the alopecia.
No, but I'm saying he knows about her auditioning for a G.I. Jane too. So he didn't just pull that joke out of nowhere. She auditioned for G.I. Jane too. Chris. Some people probably didn't even know that, but she did.
Disagree.
She's an actress, and she did. That G.I. Jane. You could Google that. She auditioned,
right?
And Chris Rock is their friend, so he knows that.
But is that still an insult?
I mean, some people feel it was. I really didn't.
Okay.
I thought it was just because it wasn't a big deal because she is an actress. And he said you were beautiful. He wasn't saying you look ugly with a bald head. He didn't say that, At the end of the day, if it was real and not staged, then it was more about Will than it was about Jada.
Of course.
It was more about him looking a certain way.
Because
I didn't read hers.
Monday, and then she chimed in Tuesday and said something about healing. About healing, and I
actually got it, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about it's time to heal, or we're in a healing process, something along those lines about healing. So she did even chime in herself.
It was just a very weird situation.
It was very weird.
Very weird.
Uncomfortable. And like I said, I just don't believe that they would have risked doing that much damage.
But I mean, it really didn't do any damage. All it did is put their names in the mouth of everybody.
But in such
TikTok is so full with all kind of videos.
Yes.
I mean, they got people even imitating Denzel Washington.
Oh, and that was the other thing
about what he said when he told Will, you know,
when you're highest,
that's when the devil come for you. The devil come for you anytime because he gonna bring you down.
That is so true. He's
trying to bring you down.
And when God is getting ready to just really move and do something big for you and great for you, if you pay attention, that's when the devil gets busy.
He's busy. He's busy. He on his job.
He's on his job.
Listen, everybody, we're going to take another break and we'll be back. We want you to stay tuned. You listen to the Christina Lockett Show.